The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Jack.
And I'm Rex Lita. Join me later in the Bulletin for Sports.
In this edition, opportunists swindling locals in Morobe, resolutions reached in joint supervisory meeting, and CRU ready for fiery final showdown. Madang Governor Ramsey Pariwa has initiated the Labour Mobility Program for Madang Province with the support of the Labour Mobility Unit based under Treasury. As such awareness session has been carried out, covering the purpose of the program, background information, criteria and contact information. According to the Governor's Office, the program aims to reduce unemployment rate for people in Madang, especially the youth population, and in the process reduce lawlessness and disorder. First, applicants must meet the following criteria, which includes being an indigenous Madang or born and raised in Madang, have a form of identification, passport and COVID vaccine card. Registered youths who are successful will be employed with a fixed salary for various work done from this overseas recruitment program. Police have arrested the main suspect in the shooting of a helicopter hired by police during the 2022 national general election in Kompiam, Enga province. Peter Yakos is also the main suspect in the killings and the burning of Kompiam station. He was arrested and charged with 5 counts of willful murder and 1 count of arson.
Peter Yakos is the main suspect in the shooting of a chopper in Kompiam, Enga province during the elections in 2022. He has been arrested by police. Police also found new evidence of the involvement of very senior provincial and national leaders in the Kompiam incident in 2022. Police Commissioner David Manning says the investigation into the various crimes carried out in Kompiam during the 2022 national general elections continues. According to Mr. Manning, telephone messages revealed Yakos allegedly planning and giving instructions for the murders and arson. The messages further implicate the active involvement of a politician in the violence, death and destruction that occurred. Manning stressed that investigation continues, but the information they have uncovered thus far is concerning, as it is a sorry state of affairs when the government is working to end violence, but certain leaders are encouraging these crimes to be committed. Freddie Moe, TVWAN News.
Meantime, 2 additional mobile squads have been deployed into Wapenamanda to assist the Enga Provincial Police Command restore law and order following the recent killings in the area. Commissioner for Police David Manning clarified that the 2 Engan-based mobile squads have actively been restoring and maintaining law and order in Pogera and Layagam. Manning said police presence is being beefed up to prevent further death and destruction of property. The Commissioner is calling on relevant leaders to step up and help bring back peace and restore the rule of the law in the Enga province. Since the announcement by Morobe Governor Luther Wenge on millions of kina allocation for pastors and single mothers, opportunists have been swindling locals all over the 10 districts. During the governor's monthly forum at Tutumang House on Monday, a woman leader from Naiwab district called on the governor to come clear on the funding allocation. This year, Morobe Governor Luther Wenge announced 5 million kina for preachers and pastors and another 5 million kina for widows, single mothers and females who have had children out of wedlock. He soon increased the pastor's allocation for 10 million kina, saying they play an important role in extending God's hand. Since his announcement, women in the rural districts of Morbe have been getting scammed by people pretending to be from the governor's office. Mothers and elderly women, most of whom are widows, have been pressured to pay over 30 kina each by different groups to benefit from the 5 million kina allocation. A new scam is making its way around the 10 districts. Nawaib women leader Joyce Sorenu Hosso of Semenzing village raised this at the forum.
Planti mana, Mary ino planti tumas. One tutu all around the door. All governor Morobe ibaki more kama posem. Provincial SME coordinator all around that scheme. 200, 300 no. Oh, kita mama, all mama walk around that scheme. Mama, na all mama tu walk around that posem. All children no SME from Morobe province. Governor imaki. Now me like him, governor here to ask him, me lot, ask him all man Mary lot talk out or said that. Me like asking you now, because now man Mary lot Morobe or Lama Master this SMB program you walk around. Now only Lama Master, you declare it straight that don't talk that. Over the man Mary can say, we say through every go past the Mr. Walk play SMB the province.
One man of God time, there was me, SME, you got my body in the SME or put in the and didn't already make it. Didn't already make it. Now suppose say 200 kina no more you. 200 kina no you no call him name. Say 200 kina no you must make sure they must issue receipt to you. Now what if to go with him? But you can make like some interest or one name must make it. And this is nothing is the 200 kina or report the police arresting for the man.
On the other hand, concerned residents, mostly the working class, have labeled the governor's funding allocation as free handouts that are adding fuel to the cargo cult mentality. On top of that, the structure of the officers in charge of dispersing the funds, especially for the women's representative, is yet to be put in order. Ungaibena District Development Authority will now enjoy the services of St. John Ambulance after the recent signing of a Memorandum of Agreement between the Eastern Highlands Provincial Health Authority and the St. John Ambulance in Goroka. Local MP Kinoka Feo and the Ungaibena District Development Authority made the critical decision to bring in St. John Ambulance into the district to provide early healthcare service to people in the communities and St. John Ambulance.
It is important to provide early healthcare service to people in communities. St. John Ambulance is one health-focused agency that provides that in time of emergencies. Thus, Ungaibena MP and the District Development Authority made a critical decision to bring the critical health service into their district. In compliance to protocol, the District Development Authority arranged for the signing of a Memorandum of Agreement between the Eastern Highlands Provincial Health Authority and the Ambulance Service. PHA CEO Dr. Joseph Appa and St. John Ambulance Deputy Commissioner Terence Toria signed the MOA in Goroka on Thursday, July 27, 2023. This service will extend to Kainantu, Obura Woninara, Henganofi, Okapa, Lufa, Daulo, and Goroka. District Administrator Jonathan Ressis said the DDA committed close to 2.4 million kina, 3 ambulances and a block of land near Goroka Township to set up an ambulance center. Salome Vincent, TV1 News.
This is TV1 News. After the break, we'll have more news from around the country.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Enjoy life when we were Together making happy memories that last forever. Hot in talk, young or old, let's Calra's family meal with home. We'll bring out the smiles cause it's our favorite from us. Tennessee cola, scare rice, long scares, air price. Tennessee cola, scare rice, long scare price. Amber, you like it?
All Mama Flame is story all same.
Me say you seen flame flower long one him. Me say me Kim Kai Kai belong family belong me. You go more yet.
Man belong me save like flower balls belong me what them kawa war na spring ania. All pikinini belong me save like him to mas pineapple donut me save walk him lo house. Me make kumu mix him on them cow na karamapim long flower.
Tasty hash browns.
Time is scaling one time olar pela kai kai. Me save kissing more kai kai long all get a toya me tromoy one time flame flower.
Do enough making more one time flame flower.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Fine PNG made.
Open that.
Australia's favorite chef is taking you around the world to meet amazing people.
Teach me how to make this one.
Experience delicious food.
Bon appetit.
And discover the most incredible flavors.
Yum. Nice.
This is a culinary expedition on a budget.
50 rupees. That's a deal. Whoa.
Cheers. Around the world with Mano Fidel. A brand new series coming soon on Outdoor.
When I first moved to LA, signs on all the doors said, no actors or dogs allowed. I changed that.
And now, y'all ready for something different? Whoa!
Babylon premieres Saturday, August 5th, 10 p.m. on HBO.
Welcome back. Empowering Momasa through a digital transformation is the key component for the Department of Information and Communication Technology. The successful completion of the regional consultation workshop in Madang comprehended of representatives from around the region in the sub-national level. The two-day workshop hosted by DICT took place in respective provinces as they were presented with copies of the Digital Government Act and standards symbolizing their active involvement in shaping the future of digital transformation in PNG. Digital transformation officers who participated were in discussion and shared valuable insights. They also expressed great enthusiasm on that opportunities that digital transformation brings and the positive impact on service delivery in the provinces. The Internal Revenue Commission is currently hosting a two-day awareness on Section 65A of the Goods and Services Tax Act in Leh. The awareness is for the Momase region. It was attended by representatives from the provincial governments, provincial health authorities, and district development authorities from Madang, East and West Sepik, and Morobe.
A joint awareness session on Section 65A of the Goods and Services Tax Act is underway in Leh for the Momase region. Day one of the workshop was attended by authorized withholders, which are the provincial government, district development authorities, and provincial health authorities. The second day will be for suppliers or service providers to these provincial governments, DDAs, and PHAs. Acting Assistant Commissioner for the Internal Revenue Commission's Tax Audit Division, Ranzolin Kalokalo, said Section 65A is a notice issued by the Commissioner General for provincial and district agencies to withhold the 10% goods and services tax portion and remit directly to the IRC on behalf of their suppliers.
We have a lot of participants this morning, so we had to readjust our program to have the second lot come in at 1 o'clock, unfortunately, because we couldn't cater for that. But from the feedback from the participants, it's been good. I think they brought a message at the district level, and we are looking forward for them to go back and start enforcing the Section 65A according to the requirements. So it's good for us. And it's interesting, and it's also positive, having a team from Madang or other regions coming into Ley.
Kalokalo said this is a nationwide awareness covering the 4 regions. Southern region will be covered on August 8 and 9.
The Northern Region 1, there's a team in the New Guinea Islands running the same session awareness on Section 65A. So it's been happening. Last week we had it in Western Islands Province and Eastern Islands. So there was a group out there. We just finished up. And then we're doing this for this week. And concurrently, there's one in the New Guinea Islands currently happening. So we've been targeting the regions. Once we target the regions, then hopefully with there's some requests from provinces, we might have to look at it. But
according to IRC's July 7th list, there are 168 authorized withholders. They are authorized to act on behalf of the IRC and withhold or deduct the 10% payment of GST on their suppliers' invoices and remit directly to the IRC. Salome Vincent, TV1 News.
Prime Minister James Marape and the President of the Autonomous Region of Bougainville, President Ismail Toroama, have jointly resolved to uphold the authentic Melanesian tradition of resolving disputes through transparent dialogue and consultation, aiming to achieve a lasting and peaceful solution. This resolution was reached during the joint supervisory body meeting held in Port Moresby on Monday, July the 31st, 2023.
Acknowledging the complexity of the independence choice made by the people of Bougainville in the 2019 referendum, both Prime Minister James Marape and the President of the Autonomous Region of Bougainville, President Ismail Toroama, expressed their unwavering commitment to collectively address said issues. Key resolutions and endorsements made during the JSB meeting include the pathway to Parliament will be through a sessional order. The sessional order will only be moved after the content of the motion is agreed upon by the National Minister for Bougainville Affairs and Autonomous Bougainville Government Minister for Bougainville Independence Mission Implementation, and the motion will be adopted by a simple majority. In addition, the JSB also directed the National Minister for Bougainville Affairs and ABG Minister for Bougainville Independence Mission Implementation to collaborate on the content of the sessional order, focusing on the formulation of the question to be presented before Parliament, the determination of the number of sessions required for deliberating on these matters, the specification of the voting majority needed to endorse the referendum results, and the procedure for introducing the referendum results into Parliament. Furthermore, the JSB mandated the National Minister for Bougainville Affairs and ABG Minister for Bougainville Independence Mission Implementation to explore the possibility of seeking mediation support from moderators in case of any impasses encountered during their consultations. Freddie Moe, TV1 News.
Meantime, PM Marape has reiterated Papua New Guinea's unwavering commitment to assisting Bougainville in times of need. During a poignant ceremony held in Kokopo, East New Britain recently, a PNG Defence Force vessel departed for Bougainville carrying essential food and relief supplies for the thousands affected by the recent eruption of Mount Bagana. The Prime Minister expressed his gratitude to President Toroama for permitting the PNG Defence Force vessel to enter Bougainville. He emphasized that PNG is reaching out across the sea to support Bougainville in its healing process. The overvalued kina is one of the factors that contributes to the foreign exchange shortages in Papua New Guinea. The International Monetary Fund program aims to restore kina convertibility by moving toward a flexible exchange rate regime. The shortage of foreign reserves is expected to be addressed under the proposed regime, but prices of imported goods and services may go up. The National Research Institute Spotlight Volume 16, Issue 13, titled What Will Happen to Inflation When PNG Adopts the IMF's Proposed Exchange Rate Policy by research fellow Thomas Wangi, states that IMF has approved PNG government's request for $918 million loan on 22nd March 2023. IMF has proposed several policy reforms as conditions for the loan, and one of these is for the Bank of PNG to introduce a flexible exchange rate system. The article states that under the proposed exchange rate regime, the kina is expected to depreciate, causing high prices for imported goods and services. The high prices will reduce the purchasing power of kina and significantly affect the welfare of the people. Wangi stated that according to historical data, exchange rate policy reform implemented in 1994 has led to a significant depreciation of the kina and a sharp rise in prices of goods and services. The IMF's proposed regime is similar to the 1994 reform because the kina exchange rate will be determined freely by the market forces of supply and demand. Wangi said that fiscal policies such as price subsidies and import duty exemptions, only selected goods can be used to ease the inflationary pressure. However, the policy may be too costly to the government. The article poses the question of whether the proposed policy reform is appropriate for PNG at a time when inflation is already high, requires more discussions before the reform comes into effect this year. And now the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2790 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2715, $0.4011 Australian dollars, $0.2391 euro, and 38.24 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading higher, while crude oil is trading lower. Coffee, cocoa, copper closed higher, while palm oil closed the day lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher. ASX and all ordinaries are trading lower as well. This is TVWAN News. After the break, we'll have news from overseas. Stay tuned.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bunyamyumi.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Add the kakaru, get up a big smile on face. Time cook him chicken, a great fumu too. Sip, sip, the mumu, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
Hardware House launches the low-cost quick build kit home, built with quality building materials from the leading manufacturer of steel products and kit homes, Atlas Steel. Going now at introductory prices: 1-bedroom kit home at 79,000 kina, 2-bedroom kit home at 99,900 kina, and 3-bedroom kit home at 125,000 kina. You can also opt for solar units to be installed in the kit home at an extra charge. For more information, email info@hardwarehouse.com.pg.
A quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier by you like it more.
Superstition ain't the way.
Chef Scott Laseth is cooking up the world's creepiest critters.
You with me? No.
Iguana, hagfish, and wild boar are just some of the items in this season's menu.
Let's eat. And eat. And eat. It's nothing like you've had anywhere.
Hey, dead meat!
Dead Meat, an all-new season, coming soon on Outdoor.
He's back. Maybe the only way he can die is if I die too. For the last time we fight.
Halloween Ends. Premieres Saturday, August 12th, 10 p.m. on HBO.
Welcome back. To overseas, the opposition leader has requested to meet the AFP commissioner over a briefing relating to claims an offshore detention contractor was bribing foreign officials. Peter Dutton says he doesn't recall being briefed by the AFP in 2018 on an investigation into the matter.
Still the Home Affairs Minister in the last government. We've had revelations late last week that the Australian Federal Police had provided his office with a verbal briefing about an ongoing bribery investigation into a man by the name of Mozu Bajani. Now, this individual, through a number of companies, different companies, had a series of contracts with the Home Affairs Department for the provision of offshore detention facilities on the island of Nauru. And he was facing, at the time of this briefing, an investigation into allegedly bribing foreign officials. Despite this briefing having gone ahead, 1 month later the Home Affairs Department awarded one of his companies with another contract, and that's what's really prompted the concern here. How could that have gone ahead given what was known by the Home Affairs Department and, as the AFP is suggesting here, what would have been known by the Minister's office then? Now, Peter Dutton, who is of course now the opposition leader, he says that he has no record of this meeting. He does not know what had transpired there, and he has requested from the federal government a meeting with the AFP Commissioner to try to get on the same page and figure out what has gone on here. As a bit of an aside to that, he is in fact describing this situation as inconsequential. Those are his words, not mine. He is saying that ministers don't really have oversight of departmental procurement practices, and even if he had been told that that doesn't necessarily implicate him in anything that has happened here with this specific contract. But Peter Dutton on the ABC 7:30 program last night said that he is keen to sit down with the boss of the AFP to try to figure out what went down.
Infectious diseases experts say a ban on dog and cat meat at Indonesia's most notorious wet market should be extended to bats.
This vendor is preparing bat here at this wet market in northern Sulawesi. Pretty popular here. A lot of people buy it, they take it home, eat it with rice or turn it into a soup. It might seem to us like a strange thing to eat, but it's long been a custom in this part of Indonesia.
Dibakar dulu. We burn them first, then we chop them up, then we boil them. We cook them with coconut milk so they'll be delicious. in a thick sweet broth.
When COVID broke out, we heard that bats might have caused it. But the authorities came and took some samples, and they didn't find any evidence of viruses.
It's not just bat meat that has made this market in northern Sulawesi famous. Pythons are on sale, as is rat meat. But one thing that you don't see here anymore are dogs and cats on sale. That's because the local government has moved to outlaw the dog and cat meat trade at this market. However, in this part of Indonesia, at other markets nearby, we've still seen dogs and cats on sale. Now, one of the reasons they've outlawed it is because of the threat of rabies. But public health experts point out that so long as the bat meat trade continues, there will always be that risk of the next pandemic beginning in a market like this one.
Back home, 21 couples from Gabutu, Vabukori, Sabama, Serekone, and Boroko took part in a marriage enrichment session at Don Bosco Technical School, Gabutu recently. The session theme, Strengthening Connection, is under a marriage course by Nikki and Silla Lee. The couples took part in activities like reflection and sharing with each other, video clippings of couples and inputs by Father Ambrose Pereira, who gave the couples discussion pointers. The couples also shared their first encounter with each other, their friendship, communication, physical relationship, future together, and special moments. The program was an initiative of Father Ambrose, who saw the need for enrichment amongst couples and the sacrament of marriage. Other sessions are being planned. Member for Yalibu Pangia and former Prime Minister Peter O'Neill has raised concerns on escalating law and order issues in the country. O'Neill called on Prime Minister James Marape to explain to the people of this nation on what the government is doing to address the issue. Member for Yalibu Pangia Peter O'Neill has put the government to task when Parliament resumed today, calling on Prime Minister James Marape to explain what the government is doing to address the escalating law and order issues in the country. O'Neill raised concerns that police manpower is needed in hotspot provinces like Hela and Enga province as well as others.
What is your government doing to address the breakdown of law and order in especially two provinces? Our one province of Hela and Enga provinces. If your government has got some firm proposal and firm actions that it's going to take in addressing this issue, please confirm to this Honourable House what resources that are you allocating in terms of manpower and funding so that we can put a stop to these senseless killings in this country, Mr. Speaker. My third question is that the Prime Minister has made many public pronouncements that you will arrest this problem, you will prosecute these murderers who are still running around in our country, roaming around freely, intimidating innocent citizens, particularly our children and our women.
Prime Minister Marape, when responding, said the government is doing its best to address the issue at hand.
That the government is not resting, is not sleeping. In fact, any good government or any concerned government must respond to every issue that is prevalent in their country, and in this case, in our country, our government is sensitive to the issues that face us. The compounding problem of restlessness and lawlessness is a result of many, many years of neglect to the youths.
Marape further assured the Parliament that the government will be allocating more funding in 2024 to boost law and order in the country.
The extra manpower supplied through the use of Defence Force and the additional manpower deployed through mobilizing the mobile police into those trouble spots has been a short-term putting band-aid sort of solution to what is a cancer that is eating in our midst. But the long-term solution, Mr. Acting Speaker, really has been in investing in police and the full law and justice sector.
Meantime, Parliament has been adjourned to tomorrow, 10 a.m. And that ends the news segment. In sports, CRU finals and Lay Rugby Union president resigns.
It's in the highs and in the lows. It's in the big things and the small things too. It's hard to put into words, but you'll know it when you see it. Terrain tamer, when quality counts.
Sensational, phenomenal, what a goal! Lewandowski, Ribéry on a volley. Oh, that's quality! Out wide it goes, Aranza. It's a sensational try.
Ella, that head of yours is always on fire. You're hungry, aren't you?
No, I'm so pissed.
Queen Jordan, you and I are an example of a beautiful relationship between cultures.
You just wear him, that's all. Arima, summertime. You just need to accept him and you want the big son. You money.
So now I need you to make a decision. I'm giving you control. You stay or you go.
But I have to do this.
I don't believe that, Damien. They know something. Well, what do we do now? We're not gonna stop.
And what was that for, Mother? For acting like such a fool.
I have always seen the love you have for me in your eyes. But today you are suspicious of me. And it tears me apart.
พวกเราเนี่ยชอบกินมากๆแต่พวกเราทำอาหารไม่เก่งเลยค่ะไอ้มีคนแล้ว
เราเลยเชิญเชฟแนวหน้าของประเทศไทยมาสอนเราโดยเฉพาะเลยครับ เราจะมาทำโอมาคาเซ่
ต้มยำกุ้ง
ฮอกไกโดสกอร์ลอป
แกงปูใบชะคราม not so good
เราทำกับข้าวเป็นแล้วจริงๆนะเปลือก
Mark, Kim, and Chef premieres Friday, August 18th, 7 p.m. on HBO.
Through the Community Grants Program, civil society organizations can apply for grants of up to 50,000 kina, which are focused on delivering development projects in line with our funding priorities. Applications are now open. Applications close in September 2023 at 5 p.m. For more information, visit foundation.digitalpacific.com.
Welcome. Bulolo District became the first district for Morobe Province to complete its entry by name list as a requirement to participate in the Momase Regional Youth Games. The Momase Regional Youth Games will be hosted in Madang from September 25th to 30th this year. District Manager Fraser Peters said the district was prepared in advance when they initially received advice from the Morobe Sports Division to conduct its district games in December 2020 in preparation for the Morobe Games in 2023. Peter said that they conducted their games right from the word or LLG a month earlier, which then led to the full LLG contingent preparing at the district games in Bulolo District headquarters. Peter added that the office of the local MP sponsored all games conducted in the LLG and district. The Pepsi Capital Rugby Union competition has concluded its regular rounds and will be starting its finals on the weekend. The finals will feature top 4 teams from all divisions.
Capital Rugby Union finals kick off this weekend. In the under-19 divisions, Nova Rugby Union play the Gangloff University Piggies to open the finals rounds before Harlequins play Defence Rugby Union to finish week 1 of under-19 finals. MBB Marlins and Moniplus Nova will face off in the opening match of the under-23 finals. Harlequins and Brothers will then meet to round up the finals for under-23. In A grade, Harlequins and Crusaders will be out to make amends of their finals credential as serious title contenders, while Defense and Kremau Senko Brothers will fight for a win in order to proceed further towards finals. While every energy and focus is set to be on the men's divisions, there are some exciting matches expected to be played in the women's division. In the first of two finals matches, Harlequins play Juggernauts and Nova plays Defense. In the main event, the Premier Division finals, some exuberant performances are expected from the best 4 teams in CRU. Each team will be fighting to proceed deep into the finals for the coveted cup title. The first match in the Premier Division will see 3rd and 4th placed Piggies playing defending champions Harlequins, before the top 2 teams Brothers take on Defense. Finishing first on the competition points ladder after regular matches, the Brothers are once again in the box seat as early favourite for the cup title. Meanwhile, Defense, who missed out finals last season, are now making their way back into the finals. They will be the ones to keep an eye on when they take the field this Saturday, August 5, at the Bava Park. Technical staff said in the event that both teams draw at full time, the team that finishes higher on the points ladder takes the win. Salome Vincent, TV1 Sports.
Morobe Rugby Union President Lionel Kamiak has made his intention clear he won't be in the office next year. Kamiak is moving on at the end of the year. Kamiak said he made his decision because he wants to concentrate on his work and his family. He is a full-time bank employee. After serving 5 years as the Morobe Rugby Union President, 2 years as an interim and 3 years as a president, Kamiak has been giving his best in executing the responsibility required of him. He said he enjoyed every bit of it. He thanked everyone who supported him throughout the journey and especially in reviving the rugby union code in Morobe province. He heads the next person to take on his responsibility to be honest and fair, and he encouraged the organization to give the new person the same level of support to make the game great. After last week's disappointing loss to PRK Mandy Muruks, East New Britain Rabaul Gurias are back in the winner's circle, thumping Kimber Cutters 44-12 in the round 15 of the Digicel ExxonMobil Cup. The big win was a fitting welcome for the head coach Francis Ray, who's back with the team after 2 weeks suspension. The 2022 Digicel Cup runners-up, currently running fourth on the Dam Cup, pointing table after round 15 and again in mix for this year's Cup contention. After Gurias with coach Francis Ray has again thanked all their fans and loyal supporters for coming out to support the team and took forward to being them in the finals.
We lost last week here, but it's a good win and a good effort by the boys, so I'm really impressed, and thank you to the supporters, the fans. Keep turning up next week, and yeah, we look forward to the finals.
So blago beken blago klo all weaknesses blalo defense in attack plus straight team na nam blakam lo kim sla game no em kam lo way na ting lo mi bla like win mo.
The Dobo Warriors Rugby Club and its feeder association Koyari Rugby League were presented with a cheque of 50,000 kina each today by a long-time sponsor Water PNG Limited, formerly Edarano. The ongoing partnership between the Water PNG and Koyari Rugby League Association dates back to 2012.
Today, 2 separate dummy checks of 50,000 kina each presented to Koyari Rugby League and Dobo Warriors Club affiliated to the Port Moresby Rugby League. It reaffirms Water PNG's significant commitment and ongoing partnership with the land and resource owners of Koyari and Hiri. Before making the official presentation, Water PNG Board Director, Ambassador Iwa Olmi, commended the league executive for their continued support and cooperation in enhancing the partnership since they signed the MOU in 2012. Ambassador Olmi also encouraged the community to assist Water PNG and other stakeholders to work together in ensuring those agreements are honored for the good of everyone in NCD and the Central Province.
We are continuing this sponsorship that was established by Edarano
So this merged group, Water PNG, is happy to sponsor Koyari Rugby League of 50,000 kina. On behalf of Koyari League Executive, newly elected President Anthony Abavu acknowledged and thanked Water PNG for their continued sponsorship.
Coming on board to help us in what ways that we will achieve our aims and goals in our rugby league circles, and also very big support that you have put through that really have impact in the league society, both female and male.
On behalf of the Double Warriors Club, former Port Moresby Brothers Rugby League great Robert Akunai passionately expressed the club's gratitude towards Water PNG and assured the Ambassador Omi that every cent will be fully accounted for.
Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity, and thank you for the support. We will use the money wisely. We've already have a budgeted for it. Every red cent that we spend, we will do acquittals and submit to your good office and your good office. We will report every red cent that we spent.
Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
And now, the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
And that ends the news tonight. Have a top week ahead. Bye for now.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.